Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Zaihari bin Muhammad Zamri. My metric number is 073621. I represent Officer of Jabatan Agama Islam Selangor.
Hi, my name is Raja Aidin Sofia binti Raja Azhar Shah, matrix number 072111. Hi, my name is Nurul Aisyah Zainal binti Azlan. My matric number is 072695. I appear as the judge, who is the second respondent in this case.
Assalamualaikum. I am Muhammad Zafar Aklan bin Muhammad Zaki. Matrix number 074367. And I represent Abdul Kahar in this assignment.
Hi, my name is Sabah binti Zulki, matric number 071954. I appear as the judge, the fourth respondent in this case.
What's wrong with you?
I received some information that several people are practicing divine teaching in someone's house in our village.
It's like that. We will ask them tonight. Hey, what are you guys doing? I'm from Jais and you under arrest under deviant teaching.
Why? What did I do? No! Statue! No! Statue! No! Don't do anything.
Just follow me.
Don't do anything. No.
I have considered the application. The applicants may be released, but only if they provide bonds and the guarantors each. The order is clear. If you fail to provide the bonds and guarantors, you will remain in custody. The court will alter the previous court decision, and now the court will hold that all applicants are discharged not amounting to acquittal on the third respondent's bail with one guarantor, except for first applicant, where the first applicant needs to furnish two guarantors. And all the applicants who are above 18 years old are ordered to report to the District Islamic Religion Office of their residence once a month. The previous order that requires the applicants who are under 18 years old to report to District Islamic Religion Office is cancelled. And also that the bonds are refunded to the applicants and all the applicants' previous guarantors are released. And last one, the court held that this bail is extended until 22 June 2021. Hi, now we are moving to the remedies sought in this case. In this case, the applicants sought for three remedies, which are certiorari, mandamus, and declaration. Certiorari is a quashing order that nullifies or invalidates the decisions made by a public authority. Its purpose is to correct decisions made without jurisdictions or in breach of natural justice. The second remedy is mandamus. Mandamus is a compelling order directing a public authority to perform a duty they are legally required to perform, and its purpose is to ensure that public authorities fulfill their legal obligation. For example, the court orders the public authority to restore the applicant belongings. And the last one is declaration. Declaration is a court formal statement about the legal right or status of parties without ordering any actions. So, the purpose is to clarify legal positions, especially useful when a party wants to know if an act, a statute, or a decision is lawful or not. That's all for this part. Thank you.
For this case, the applicant applied for judicial review under three grounds. Firstly is illegality. Illegality arises when a public authority acts beyond the scope of its legal power, commonly referred to as ultra vires. This ground requires decision makers to correctly understand and apply the law governing their actions. If a public authority misinterprets a statute, applies the law incorrectly, or uses its power for an improper or unauthorized purpose, its decision may be declared unlawful. Secondly is irrationality. A decision is considered irrational if it is so unreasonable that no reasonable decision maker could have arrived at all. This is a high threshold and is rarely met reflecting judicial restraint in interfering with administrative discretion. This court will not substitute its own judgment, but will intervene with a decision keeping logic or accepted moral standards. Lastly, disproportionality, primarily used in cases involving fundamental rights under the Human Rights Act 1998. Under this principle, courts assess whether the action taken by a public authority was proportionate to the objective it sought to achieve.
Now, I'll be explaining the importance of the remedies granted in this case. This case is a significant example of how administrative law functions to protect individual rights from unlawful decision by public authorities. First, let's talk about certiorari. This is a remedy used to quash or cancel unlawful decision made by public authorities. In this case, the applicants challenged two orders. One that detained them unless they could post bail, and another that changed the terms to include discharge not amounting to acquittal. The court found both orders to be irrational and illegal. By granting certiorari, the court effectively nullified these unlawful decisions, protecting the applicants from continued detention and control. This remedy is crucial because it shows that the court's role in checking the abuse of powers by public authorities and upholding administrative decisions are met lawfully and fairly.
Next, let's move to the second remedy applied in this case. So, we have the second remedy is declaration. This remedy doesn't compel action, but it provides an official statement of the legal positions. In this case, the applicant sought two declarations that Section 23 of the Sharia Criminal Procedure Selangor Enactment 2003 was unconstitutional and that their detention was illegal. The court held that Section 23 violated Article 5 and Article 8 of the Federal Constitution as it allowed the detention without time limit or formal charges, violating the right to liberty and due process. It also found that the applicants were illegally detained, which infringed their fundamental liberty. Although the judgment didn't list the declaration separately, but the court's finding gave the substantive effect to those declarations. This shows how the declaration remedy is the key to clarifying constitutional rights and invalidating unjust law.
Moving on is how this case reflects the administrative law in Malaysia. The respondent's order was stated with four multiple grounds, which the first is illegality. The fourth respondent has acted without lawful authority when ordering the detention of the applicants under Section 23 of the Sharia Criminal Procedure Enactment. The court has highlighted that there was no express provision in Section 23 allowing for detention simply because an individual is unable to furnish bail or bond. This of which represents a classic breach of the ultra vires doctrine, which is an act done beyond the powers granted by law. Secondly, is on the ground of irrationality, which is pursuant to the Wednesbury unreasonableness. The order was found to be irrational and unreasonable on several grounds. First, there was no criminal charges against the applicants. Secondly, the detention period had no statutory time limit, unlike the 14-day maximum remand under the CPC. Third, some applicants were held for up to 99 days without justification. And lastly, the bail process was misrepresented, which is the borang jamin or the bail form stated 3 times that the applicants had been charged, when in reality, no charges were filed. This clear contradiction between documentation and fact highlights an administrative misrepresentation, rendering the entire process illogical and deceptive.
Next, procedure impropriety. The detention proceeding under Section 23 of SCPE violate the requirement for fair procedure. The first one is the applicant were not given legal representation during the hearing. Second, they were not given opportunity to challenge the condition imposed or to defend themselves meaningfully. And lastly, the court observed this Section 23 of SCPE was used as a form of punishment without any formal charge being framed or preferred. This deceptive use of procedure bypassed the right to a fair trial and transformed criminal process into punitive one. They are classic examples of procedural impropriety, denying individual their fundamental right under the rules of natural justice. Next, disproportionality imposing bond and bail without charge, then detaining applicant who failed to comply amounted to punishment without trial. This was grossly disproportionate to the investigate objective and infringe upon Article 5 and 8 of Federal Constitution, especially for applicants who were detained poorly due to financial inability. So, in conclusion, this case reinforced the role of Malaysian administrative law in protecting individual rights from abridged by public authorities through the application of illegality, irrationality, procedure impropriety, and disproportionality. The High Court demonstrates how civil court ensure public power is exercised lawfully, rationality, and fairly in line with Federal Constitution.